We have Rashad Salamat, who's going to be joining us. There's the Paris Air Show that is coming up, and Rashad is joining us right now, and I believe you have a very special guest. Rashad?
Yeah, we've got the Chief Operating Officer of Airbus. A big day for Airbus today because coming into the air show, only 11 net orders. It's 11 actually amongst Airbus and Boeing put together, given Boeing's cancellations. He's with us now. 24 planes ordered from Qatar Airways. That must have been, phew, a sigh of relief for you, John.
Well, it's a good start, but hopefully it's not the end of the air show.
Okay, so where do we go from here? I mean, do you have more orders in the pipeline now?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm not going to give you the number or tell you who they are. Okay, let's stay for the air show.
Look, we are. The Tribune's saying that you could have up to 100. Would you confirm or deny that?
I'm not sure we'd get that far, but I think we'll do more than the 24. But remember, let's not all focus on how many orders I'm going to get for deliveries 3 or 4 years from now. Let's look at how many airplanes I'm going to deliver this year. Last year was a record year for Airbus, 483 airplanes. If we can do the same this year, which is what we're counting on doing, we'd probably be the only industry in the world, the only company in the world, that had 2 record years back-to-back in the middle of this economic depression.
Yeah, it's about retention rather than new orders, though, isn't it, really? It's keeping the customer base.
Keeping the production lines going. That's the key, keeping them going in a nice, smooth manner. We can't really run production up by 30%, take it down by 30%. If the car manufacturers can do it, more power to them. It's very difficult for us. We custom build airplanes for each individual order. And the point now is to keep the customers who ordered these airplanes 2 or 3 years ago still taking delivery this year.
But how's the recession impacting you, apart from the orders? What about, at the same time, looking at, budgetary constraints, that sort of thing, financing?
Well, financing is very important. Last year, for example, the export credit agencies out of Europe covered about 20% of all of our deliveries. This year, it'll be about 40 to maybe even 50%. Next year, we're counting on 50%. We're also adding some of our own financing to the mix. And then, of course, there are commercial banks and leasing companies as well. Put that all together, and I think we've got every airplane for this year financed.
John, what about A380? It was late. 787 is 2 years late now as well. Will the A350 be on time?
Absolutely. Otherwise, a few people aren't going to be around here anymore. If we can't learn from the lesson of our own A380, the lesson of the 787, we shouldn't be in this business.
Right. There's even talk today coming from Scott Carson, chief executive there of Boeing's commercial division, that they may build a 777 with a bigger wingspan. How do you respond to that?
Well, I'm not surprised he's talking about that because the 350 has about 25% better economics than today's 777. He's going to lose the market if he doesn't do something.
Right. Chinese orders, how are they panning out at the moment?
Well, again, we're looking for orders from China. I don't think we're going to have anything at the air show. But again, we're opening a line in Tianjin later on this month. Come on out and see what we announce out there.
Middle East? Is that really where it's at?
You'll just have to wait to the end of the show.
It is. Come on.
You'll have to wait to the end of the show.
All right. Now, we talked also about the next generation of single aisle. Where are you with that now?
Well, we're working on it. But let's face it, that's not today's news story. That's a news story for 2020. We've got perfectly good airplanes both in Seattle and Toulouse that we can deliver now and quite comfortably for the next 7 or 8 years. There's absolutely no reason why we should be talking about replacing that until somewhere around 2020.
Okay, production. You are reducing production. Are you going to reduce it further?
Well, as I said before, 483 aircraft last year, a record year. This year, my target...
What about per month, though?
483. If we can hold that, we'll have 2 record years back-to-back. Find me one other company doing that.
Okay. Tom Enders also said the other day that you could lose 1,000 aircraft in terms of orders, and you'd be not unduly worried about it. That's quite blasé, isn't it?
Well, I think what he's trying to talk about is our backlog of 3,500 airplanes. We're producing around 500 a year. That's 7 years worth of production. If we lose 1,000, that's 5 years worth of production. It isn't important how many airplanes are in the backlog. What's important is how many airplanes we're delivering this year and next year in our production windows.
John, one final question. C-Series is getting some orders now. Is it biting at your ankles, and will it be taking orders away from the A320 family?
Well, no, I don't see the C-Series as a competitor, and you said they're getting orders. I haven't seen anything.
Good answer.
Wasn't that about about a year or two ago.
It was earlier this year, but it's getting orders.
I don't see them as a major competitor.
Okay, John, well, thank you so much indeed for joining us. I know you're tied up for time. I'm going to let you get onto that helicopter and go to the centre of Paris. He's off to the centre of Paris. I'm avoiding all the horrid traffic congestion which surrounds this airport. We're from Le Bourget, it's back to New York.
Rashad Salamat. Rashad, thanks.